All right. Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us. I know we'd all prefer to be together in person, but I appreciate you making the time to do this virtually tonight. I want to respect your time, so I'm going to keep this presentation no more than 30 minutes. We have a lot of great information to get through regarding peptides. And as a big thank you for being here at the end of this presentation, I will have a code for you to use. The code will give you 15% off any service booked during the month of March. Before we dive in, I also want to quickly look ahead. Our next Bespoke event is going to be a mix and mingle. The topic will be bioidentical hormone replacement and sexual wellness. We will be giving away some exclusive discounts for our VBR, that's our vaginal rejuvenation treatment, as well as our Apex program, which focuses on men's sexual health. So please stay tuned for the location and more information on that event. All right, let's get started on tonight's topic, which is peptides. I need to start with a brief but important disclaimer. As some of you may know, a couple of years ago, the FDA changed its regulations regarding peptides, moving them to a category of for not human consumption. So a lot of people are getting them off the black market or gray market, not for human consumption and only experimental. The FDA really tightened up the rules around experimental research. However, tonight we are not discussing those experimental versions or the online black market. Peptides you might hear about, we are strictly discussing peptides that are prescribed by licensed providers and compounded by regulatory pharmacies. In our practice, we have moved to using all the peptides that fall under Category 1 designation for prescriptions, moving away from the old Category 2 status which is strictly experimental and not for sale for human consumption. Our focus tonight is on the safety, the regulations, and the real-world results we have seen with our patients using these provider-prescribed options. So with that cleared up, let's dive in and start talking about everything about peptides. I don't know where. All right. So almost all of our patients who walk in the clinic tells us some version of the same story. I hope this is all on here. Whether it's I'm tired, I can't lose weight, I don't recover like I used to, I just don't feel like myself anymore. And the reason often comes down to something very simple. The body has lost its ability to communicate properly at the cellular level. So peptides are one of the most powerful ways we now have to restore that communication. And tonight we're going to show you how that happens. Okay, so we're going to start this presentation. All right, presentation of peptides, the future of medicine. All right. So my name is Dr. Sheila Burgess. I'm a DNP, AGA CNP, board certified, the founder of Be Well Regenerative and Hormone Medicine here in Las Cruces. Tonight, we're going to talk about something that's rapidly transforming medicine, and that is peptides. So peptides are becoming one of the most exciting areas in regenerative medicine because they allow the body to restore signaling in the body instead of just suppressing symptoms. So we're going to cover what peptides are, how they work, how they help with healing, metabolism, longevity, and how we can use them clinically, especially at Be Well. All right. About us, a little bit about our clinic here. We believe that aging is optional, and actually there's lots of research that shows this. We're a functional medicine clinic dedicated to optimizing the human body from the inside out. We move beyond traditional medicine to uncover and correct the root causes of dysfunction by combining regenerative peptide therapy and precise biohacking protocols and comprehensive hormone optimization. We don't just add years to life, we add vitality to your years. We are your partners in building a stronger, sharper, and more resilient you. All right. So why are we talking peptides? We're going to start with the basic. A peptide is just a short chain of amino acids, usually under 50 chains, 50 amino acids long. But what makes them powerful is what they do. So over 50 chains is a protein, under 50 chains is a peptide, and under, about 4 to 6 is a bioregulator. So we're talking just about these amino acids that came together in a chain. Peptides function as biological signaling molecules. They can tell cells when to repair, when to release hormones, when to activate immune cells, when to regulate metabolism. It's a lot like a hormone, but they are more precise. I always tell people when we do your hormones, it's like hitting you with a hammer. It's very broad in what we're doing. When we use peptides, we're very specific. So it's like using a scalpel to do something very specific. So peptides are just essentially communication signals inside the body. Think of peptides as instructions that help the body heal itself. Rather than forcing the body with drugs, peptides restore the body's natural processes. So they coordinate processes like metabolism, immune function, neuroendocrine signaling throughout the body. We've been using peptides for years in medicine for our women that work in and men that work in the pregnancy units. We use oxytocin to stimulate contractions. We also use desmopressin. That's a peptide in diabetes insipidus, but also in bedwetting for a lot of our boys and I guess girls too. So there's lots of peptides. Of antimicrobial peptides. That's like bacitracin. So there's a lot of them on the market. And right now we have over 50% of our pharmaceuticals that are peptides. So they're pretty powerful. We have lots of different categories of peptides. There are hundreds of peptides being researched. For example, we have the immune modulating peptides, sleep peptides, antimicrobial peptides, regenerative peptides, mitochondrial peptides, and melanotropic peptides. And each of these peptides acts on a different system in the body. And so tonight I'm going to walk you through some of the most important categories. One of the most exciting areas of peptide medicine is immune regulation. Some of the peptides we use, thymosin beta-4, you probably hear that we use thymosin beta-500 all the time. That's an active frag. BPC 157, a lot of people hear that, especially our active athletes. Thymosin alpha-1, thymulin, epitalon. These peptides help regulate the immune system. Thymosin alpha-1 helps stimulate maturation of immune cells like T cells and natural killer cells. Those are essential for fighting infections and regulating the immunity. And rather than overstimulating the immune system, these peptides help restore the immune balance. We also have these sleep peptides, epitalon. Sleep is one of the most powerful regenerative processes in the body. So we do have certain peptides that help regulate circadian rhythms and sleep architecture. Epitalon, DSIP, which is delta sleep inducing peptide. That's one of the most popular ones. CJC 1295 and ipamorelin and AOD. AOD is an anti-obesity drug, which is a peptide we'll talk about a little bit in a minute. So when sleep improves, we often see improvements in hormone regulation, metabolism, brain health, immune function, so much. All right, and we also have antimicrobial peptides. We just talked about bacitracin, but these are the ones that we use as injections a lot of times. Um, LL37, thymosin alpha 1. We have BPC 157, TB 500 again. So these peptides are being studied for their ability to support the immune responses against infections and chronic inflammatory conditions. Another major target in longevity medicine is the mitochondria. So the mitochondria is the energy factories of our cells. Mitochondrial peptides includes MOTS-C. Lots of people have heard about that, and we have lots of our patients that are taking that currently. 5-amino 1 and Q, humanin, SS31. These peptides help improve the mitochondrial function, energy production, metabolic health, aging pathways. So this side is, when the body's under chronic stress, immune signaling really shifts. So that can lead to mast cell activation. You have more reactions, more inflammation, immune imbalances. So we see this in a lot of our autoimmune patients, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, the MCAS, POTS. So peptides can help restore immune regulation upstream. Okay. So let's talk about one of our most famous peptides. Everyone knows the GLPs, and we're going to talk about why it's so important in weight loss. So why is it so hard to lose weight? One of the most common things that we hear from patients are, I'm eating the same, I'm exercising the same, but I keep gaining weight. And the reason is that weight regulation is not just about calories, it's more about hormones. And as we age, those hormone signaling begins to shift. Metabolism slows, insulin sensitivity declines, muscle mass decreases, and stress hormones increase. So all of these changes make fat loss more difficult. Your metabolism is controlled by a network of hormones. So we talk about this all day here. Insulin determines whether your body stores or burns fat. Cortisol, which is our stress hormone, can increase abdominal fat. We call this our cortisol belly. Also, it'll increase your cholesterol. Thyroid hormones regulate how quickly we burn energy. Sex hormones, our estrogen, progesterone, testosterone play major roles in muscle mass, fat distribution, metabolic rate. When these hormones fall out of balance, weight gain often follows. As these hormones decline, the body begins to change how it stores energy. So this is where metabolic peptides like GLP-based therapies come in. These peptides help regulate appetite signaling and metabolic hormones, which is why they can be so powerful when used appropriately. So let's talk about those. All right, the GLP-1 revolution. GLPs stand for glucagon-like peptide. This hormone is naturally produced in the gut and plays a major role in regulating appetite, blood sugar, and metabolism. The first medication many people are familiar with is semaglutide. Semaglutide is amazing. It works by activating the GLP-1 receptor, which slows stomach emptying, reduces the appetite, and improves blood sugar control. The next one we have right here, which you'll see, is tirzepatide. And that one really activates both the GLP-1 receptor and another hormone pathway called GIP, producing even a greater effects usually. And the third one here that you see is retatrutide. That's the newest peptide currently being studied in on the market. And so we've got three pathways: GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon receptors. Because of this triple signaling, retatrutide is showing some of the most dramatic weight loss results we've seen in metabolic medicine. All right. So when choosing the best one, it's really more about we want to do a comprehensive metabolic strategy. So looking at your hormones, your nutrition, your inflammation control, and lifestyle medicine, and then decide which ones work best for you. Okay. All right. So another, I'd say this is our second most sold peptide. This is our growth hormone releasing peptide. So they signal the pituitary gland in the brain to release more of your own natural growth hormone. Growth hormone is one of the body's most important metabolic hormones. It plays a major role in fat burning, muscle building, cellular repair. When growth hormone levels improve, several things happen. Your body becomes better at burning fat for energy. It helps build and preserve lean muscle. And the more muscle you have, the higher your metabolism naturally becomes. Growth hormone also supports better sleep, faster recovery from exercise, and improvements in skin elasticity and tissue repair. Now, many people are familiar with medications like the GLP-1s, which help reduce appetite. They're very helpful tools, but when someone simply eats less, the body can sometimes break down muscle for energy, which slows the metabolism over time. So this is often a hormone or peptide that we give them. Growth hormone stimulate peptides. Growth hormone stimulating peptides work differently. So instead of just lowering the appetite, they help shift the body towards burning fat while preserving or building the muscle. I often like to explain this this way. So GLP-1 medications help control the fuel gauge. They help you eat less, but growth hormone peptides help fix the engine. They improve how your metabolism actually work. And you can see they work on so many different things here. Okay. All right. So one of the challenges with peptide therapy is compliance and costs. So if patients have to use multiple peptides separately, it can mean multiple injections and complicated dosing schedules. And so by combining peptides into a single vial blend, we simplified the process, reducing cost, injection burden, and improved patient adherence. And when peptides are combined correctly, the effect can be significantly greater than using any single compound alone. So we're going to talk about some of these compounded peptides. We call it stacking. All right, so this slide introduces our peptide stacks, which are not random combination of peptides. Each blend is carefully engineered based on biological pathways to produce these effects that work together. The peptides work together to enhance each other's activity. So we have some of our most popular ones here. You could see the Samson and Delilah, the Apex. I'm just going to go ahead and go through these availability ones. We have Adonix, which is fat loss and metabolic optimization. We have the Apex here, which is muscle recovery and physical performance. The Empress, which is female hormonal balance and vitality. We have the Fountain of Youth, which has what Glow has, but also epitalon for stopping the telomeres from declining. So this is very anti-aging. It's a full body cellular support. Hypnose, which is deep sleep and circadian rhythm regulation. We have the Inferno, which is a thermogenic fat loss and energy elevation. Calm. We'll talk a little bit about that. That's our peptide of the month. It helps with stress, mood, and the parasympathetic reset. Love and happiness, it's mood enhancement and oxytocin response. Lucid is cognitive enhancement and mental clarity. Prometheus, injury repair, recovery, and inflammation control. Samson and Delilah, that's been a popular one. It really helps with hair regrowth, scalp repair, and cellular regeneration. And then we have Valcor, which is an immune modulating and inflammation defense. Sorry, I made a typo right there. Okay. All right, so we're going to introduce some of these the blends to you. We just talked a little bit about that. All right, so this month at Be Well, we're featuring our peptide of the month, which is Calm. Calm is one of our blends designed to support the nervous system, mood regulation, stress recovery. And we thought it was the perfect time to highlight it. So this month, we've actually created a little bit of a super chill environment in the clinic to go along with it. This key peptide is C-Makes and C-Link. These peptides have been studied for decades in Russia. They use them instead of SSRIs and benzos in Eastern Europe, where they've been used to support cognitive function, stress resilience, and emotional balance. CMAX is known for its effects on focus, neuroprotection, mental clarity, while C-Link has been studied for its ability to help regulate anxiety pathways and promote a calmer nervous system. But together they support the brain's natural neurotransmitter balance, particularly involving dopamine and serotonin. I just listened to a great podcast on this morning. This can improve mood, reduce stress, and help people feel more mentally resilient. We do have people coming off of SSRIs that take this, and it's working really wonderful with that. Yes, we can talk about this at the office as well. So if someone is dealing with stress, burnout, brain fog, or just wants to support cognitive health, this is one of our favorite peptides. Okay, we're at 21 minutes. All right. Next month in April, we are our peptide of April is going to be Prometheus. This protocol combines two peptides, CJC 1295 and ipamorelin. Together, they stimulate the body's natural growth hormone release, but they do it in a very physiological way. So first, CJC 1295, it's a long-acting analog of something the body already produces, which is called growth hormone releasing hormone. This hormone comes from the hypothalamus and signals the anterior pituitary gland to release growth hormone. And so because this CJC 1295 has a longer half-life, it allows for a more sustained signaling effect. So before the FDA moved these down to a category 2, this used to be our best-selling peptide, and we just had so many wonderful benefits with it. So growth hormone really plays a major role in things like deep restorative sleep. This is why kids sleep so heavy, but it also helps with collagen production, tissue repair, fat metabolism, and overall cellular recovery. The second peptide in this combination is ipamorelin. Ipamorelin is a growth hormone releasing peptide, which also signals the pituitary gland to release growth hormone. And one of the reasons it's so popular is that it's very, very selective. It stimulates growth hormone release without increasing cortisol or prolactin, which gives it a very clean safety profile. When these two peptides are used together, they create a great effect on enhancing growth hormone signaling. So we like to use this on our men. A lot of our men call this the fountain of youth. We have really great benefits with it. Okay, so that's going to be our April peptide of the month. At any time, you could get any of these peptides, but when we do the peptide of the month, you get an additional 15% off. Okay. Samson and Delilah. This blend combines several peptides that work together to support hair regrowth, tissue repair, and overall cellular regeneration. This has become a very popular, especially with GLP-1s. They cause a lot of hair loss. And so a lot of people really like this. Now, I found it that you can actually inject it into the scalp. It works really great. It has the copper peptide. It's a copper binding peptide. It's known for stimulating collagen collagen and elastin production, improving skin health, and promoting hair follicle regeneration. It's very anti-inflammatory, and it's a very good antioxidant at the cellular level. CJC 1295, we just talked about that. It releases more of your body's natural growth hormone. Ipamorelin, we just talked about that one. And finally, TB 500, it's a version of thymosin beta 4 that supports angiogenesis, cell migration, tissue remodeling. It's really great in healing muscle, tendons, and even the scalp. So together, these peptides work for the healing, regeneration, and hair growth. And again, you can inject it right into the scalp. I found that very helpful. All right. And that's gonna be our May peptide of the month. June is going to be love and happiness. And again, you can get this at any time. This one is a great one. It's called Love and Happiness, and it's designed to support both physical intimacy and emotional connection. It combines two very interesting peptides. The first one is PT141. We've all tried them here. It works in the brain by stimulating melanocortin receptors involved in sexual desire and arousal. So unlike medications that work through the blood flow, PT141 works neurologically, so it can help both men and women who are experiencing low libido. The second component is oxytocin. So we talked at the beginning of oxytocin. Oxytocin I often use for depression, anxiety, and just low desire. But it's the bonding hormone. So oxytocin plays a key role in trust, emotional connection, social bonding. It's naturally released during things like hugging, intimacy, during orgasms, and of course, with mother baby during breastfeeding. But when these two peptides are combined, they can support libido, emotional closeness, mood, and just overall connection. So this one works really good. You can do it 1 to 3 times per week. You can do it prior to intimacy. It's just a wonderful combo. And this is going to be our June peptide of the month. All right, there are hundreds and hundreds of peptides. We do have a peptide book that you can come and get, and we can discuss any of these peptides. We always like to start with your labs, looking at hormones, deficiencies, all your medications, getting an overall picture of you. All right. Future courses, we want to make sure we keep these courses up. But before we wrap up tonight, I want to tell you, we love doing our Be Well Bespoke community events, and we're going to restart those. Sorry about this Thursday. Again, we're going to make it up to you. So we host these gatherings every month because we really, really enjoy creating a space where people can learn about natural health in a fun and relaxed environment. Our next one in April is going to be all about hormones and sexual health and wellness. And I promise this one is going to be a lot of fun. We've got Dr. Williams talking about bioidentical hormones. We've also got our other provider, our nurse practitioner, Brandy Gorsman. She's got her own story. She's hilarious when she talks about it. And then we've got May 7th, our amazing esthetician, Lindsay. She's a functional esthetician. She has been doing lots and lots of studying. She's going to be talking about skin health and anti-aging, focusing on a functional skin health. She'll have some skin treatments and products available at a special that night. You could come and get all of your questions answered about that. After summer, we'll be back. One of our most popular events was Quantum, and in January, we're going to do another one. So we've been doing Quantum and Morpheus since January, and we've had amazing results. We now have performed over 50 of these procedures. The results are absolutely incredible. We'll also run another discount event for these treatments sometime in September. By the end of the year, we're going to be planning a biohacking event. Really exciting for anyone interested in longevity and optimizing performance. Where we'll be talking all things ozone, pulse electromagnetic frequency, Rife technology, NAD, alpha lipoic acid. We have hundreds and hundreds of biohacks that we are going to be talking about. We always love giving away services and spending time with our community. So if you know these events, you know that we give away so much at these. We have so many door prizes. So, all right. So if you mention magical peptides, you can receive 15% off of any service through the end of March. And there's a little bonus as well. If you mention the magic peptides, and tonight's presentation will also give you a complimentary MIC injection. MIC is a metabolic support injection that contains methionine, inositol and cobalamin, which is B12, which helps support liver functions, metabolism, energy. All you have to do is stop by the clinic, walk in, mention the presentation, and we'll take care of you. All right. And anything else? And if anything you heard of tonight resonates with you, whether it's hormones, peptides, weight loss, energy, biohacking, ozone, or you just want to feel better overall, this is a great time to start the conversation. We are at 30 minutes. Please give us a call. Let me go back to that. 652-4909 is our phone number. We're at 755 South Telshore. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so sorry we didn't get to meet in person, but we promise to make it up. All right, have a good night.